Fikile Mbalula explained how the ANC outsmarted and defeated the DA. Very, 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 very simple. Very simple and basic. And I'm looking at this, I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. Oh, so why is the DA complaining? Because the DA are even saying, let us reset the law, right? Let us redo everything. Because this is not a Yoba, right? So that's what the DA they are saying. They are saying, no, guys, let's redo this thing. Let's reset the law. This is not right. That's what the DA are saying. Sorry, guys. They are crying like babies. Shame. Gobi. Gobi. Payagu DA. Gobi. So let's explore. I'm going to play you 2 videos, if not 3. One is from Mbalula explaining into detail how they outsmarted the DA. And as you listen to Mbalula, you get to realize to say, wait a minute. If these people have got access to such documents and they did not act on them, then it's their loss. It's not the ANC's loss. Nah, it's their loss. It's their loss. And I'm listening to this and I kind of felt to myself, this is interesting. Why is it interesting? Because how is the ANC going to respond? How is the DA going to respond to this, right? Because right now, I kind of feel like they are emotional about it. They are shame. DA, shame. All right, Fikile Mbalula, please explain how you were able to defeat and outsmart the DA here.
This matter has been with us in the National Assembly as well as the NCOP up until to the point that it was now on the desk of the president to sign, and he has done exactly that. So all the boxes have been ticked. Now that the DA and others wake up in their slumber as though this is new, they have not been aware of it. President Ramaphosa just woke up and formulated an act and decided to sign. That's not how things are done. It's basically to take shortcuts in the supply chain system of processing of bills in Parliament up until at the level of government. And if there's something unlawful in terms of the signing of this act, it can be ventilated in the courts and other terrains that are applicable to those who don't actually approve. Rather than to bring GNU into this particular matter, when it is a matter that was finalized long time ago. And what the president does when an act and a bill has undergone a particular process, he look at it in terms of the law, and when he get an advice that he cannot sign, he basically take it back to Parliament. The fact that the president has signed it means he's convinced that in terms of the law, this act is consistent with our constitutional prescripts. The DA knows, and everybody else, that this was not only in the pipeline, it was just a matter of time that the president will sign. There is, for instance, an e-hailing matter of the National Transport Act amendment that permit the operation of e-hailing. It's in the desk of the president. He took it back, and then we went back to Parliament. I was Minister of Transport, and we're waiting for the president to basically respond to that by signing this into an act to enable a regulated environment for the e-hailing, taxi people or public transport people in our country. So these are things that are there that we know have been there. So at the present moment, people opportunistically want to short-circuit processes that have been followed to the latter, using GNU to basically scupper what they failed in the democratic process that we undergo in terms of processing these bills. So it's not something new. It has been there. And all political parties who were in parliament know that. So if anyone wants to challenge the act and say that in terms of the law, is either it is inadequate or it is unlawful, so our system allows for checks and balances for such matters to be processed. So they are free to do so, rather than grandstanding and seek to deal with this matter as though it is something new. And also want to redefine how the executive must function. Once the act is an act, you are a minister, you have to implement the act. Or otherwise, we will take you to task for non-implementation of the act. We'll take you to task in terms of the legislature, the National Assembly, will hold you accountable. That is the first thing. Secondly, we'll take you to task for non-implementation of an act of government and of the people of South Africa, which is constitutional. So you've got no choice. It's lawful. You can't run government like as if it is your stock fund. You do what you want. If it doesn't happen, you can disappear with the money of the stock fund. No, it doesn't work like that. And then people must be educated on how government is getting. You run government. You take an oath. You are a minister. You are not there because you represent your party. Once you are sworn in, you are a minister. You must implement all the acts of government. Any minister who doesn't do that will hold them accountable. It is up to the president to deal with matters in relation to his prerogative. We are not going to give instructions to him about that. Bella Act, we had to delay its implementation and sign it into law and delay implementation of certain aspects of the Bella Act. That was a huge compromise on the part of the president. But still, in the discussion, you couldn't get as to what is this point that has been raised. Here in South Africa, it has become evident and very clear every day that the fundamental difference between us and our strategic opponents is nothing else. It's about agreeing about what constitutes the consensus in relation to the transformation of South Africa. From the undesirable state to the desirable. The undesirable state is a state of apartheid that we are transforming. We are transforming this country to equality for all. And that is what we differ with those who differ with the transformational things we seek to advance. We cannot agree that South Africa cannot advance in terms of transformation. It must stagnate, it must stand still. No, we cannot agree to that. This country must be transformed from all aspects. And that's what people vote for. When you see your vote counts, you see it now. You voted for transformation, for things to change for the better, to change things from this undesirable to the desirable state where we all live in equality. Equality does not just mean that we can sing the same national anthem together. It goes beyond that. It means we have been separated in many other ways, in terms of language and all of that. And then society has been racialized in terms of areas where we live in through Group Areas Act. We have repealed that, but it doesn't end that. How do you address the question of integration of our people in the long term and going forward?
Okay. So, I'm gonna give you a video uba John Steenhuisen. But before we get there, Really, guys, really, 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 really. Now I'm sitting and I'm like, Mbalula, the way he explains it, he kind of makes it looks easy, makes it look simple, makes it look like, no, this is not our problem. No, the problem is they did not do the necessary follow-up. No, we are not the problem. The problem is they just skipped the papers. They didn't read through the papers. But we placed those papers before them. That's the picture that you kind of get when you are listening to Mbalula to say, no, Tina, we brought everything before you. It was before the presidential office, to which you have access to as a minister. But you chose not to engage yourself in those. You chose not to indulge yourself in the paperwork that was there. So how is that our problem? No, it's not our problem. That's how, reading it from a distance, that's how it will sound for me. How does it sound for you? Before we can talk about more and more and more, I think this is, I think this one, it sounds better. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads, it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the super thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying, we'll bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Okay, let's proceed. So then you listen to EDA, and they are busy murmuring, they are busy mumbling, they are busy complaining, they are busy whining, like anything you can think of. They are just ranting, they are just venting. They call the media just to vent. And yeah, they've been venting. We heard them. To an extent that EDA, they are asking the impossible. That is what happened to a person. When you get dumped by a person you love, it takes time for you to believe that you are dumped. It takes time, Or like when you lost your car in the parking somewhere in the mall and then it got stolen. I remember somebody says they even went under the shelves. So searching for the car. They left at the parking, walking into the store, but they went inside the store searching for the car. That could be below the shelves. That's how traumatic and that's how traumatic the DA are. They are traumatized, shame. They are traumatized, shame. They are traumatized. ANC is busy traumatizing these ones. They are beginning to sound like broken records, and they are saying things that you kind of feel like, what, DA, you shouldn't have said this. This does not make sense, DA. Like, Johnston Hazen saying that, let's research the law. He said it here.
And are treated merely as a doormat, or treated as simply there to make up the numbers. We have to seriously consider our next steps. The DA, and I want to be very clear about this, the DA will not be reduced to being mere spectators in a government of which we bring a large part of the seats. I want the people of South Africa to know that the DA does not take this step lightly. We understand the grave implications, not only for politics, but for the future of governance in South Africa. The seriousness of this situation demands that we do engage other parties in the GNU too, who, like us, have publicly come out against the acts of the recent week, and particularly the IFP, who have now come out very strongly against the Expropriation Act too. We are invoking Clause 19 in pursuit of an urgent reset in the relations, because South Africa deserves a functioning coalition where partners treat each other with respect in pursuit of the solutions to the country's many pressing problems. The solutions must work to undo the failed policies of the past 30 years and set South Africa sailing on a new path of hope, prosperity, and opportunity for more South Africans.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like we can all agree that what DA is looking for right now, the reset, I don't think it's possible. I don't think, this, the going to court, fighting this via court, blah, 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 blah. Then I think that one makes sense. But the resetting of this whole thing, to think that the ANC will go back, no, the ANC doesn't want to look cowards before its people and constituency. They don't want to look like cowards. So they will never agree to that. That's just practically impossible, DA. The reset, it's practically impossible. With that being said, awungitshela ukuthi wena uzizwa njani ngalento le. Mina ngithi, do you think that these are the signs that the GNU will soon collapse? As it has been alleged by the likes of Malema and also the MK party and other political parties have said the same thing, to say the GNU will collapse. The GNU will come to an end. That is what other people are saying. When looking at this unfolding before our eyes, the DA voicing its displeasure, you know what I'm saying, saying all sorts of venting, will you conclude that it's a sign that the GNU is coming to an end?